my goodness. Hey, D, are you out there, man? Zack needs to communicate with some crew members. What? Let's listen to Studio Party. Got me. Yeah, it has to do with my LinkedIn. AD, you'd be proud of me. I took the Nielsen ratings thing. Yes, my discovery. Ooh, and through my research, I've linked Nielsen ratings. I've meant all kinds of things. Okay, playing with Daddy. Yes, they're playing with Daddy because they're in love with him. Yeah, I linked the Titanic to Marconi and the radio. See, radio technology got outdated. Yeah, somebody built a better radio technology, and it was a battle for radio communications. And they bullied the guy around, probably made him run into that iceberg with the ship going so fast, interrupting his communications, playing with him. Yes. Oh, the battle for the communications and the broadcasting is the power, the owner, that's who controls the world. Yes, the corporate America all bows down to them. They all have to go through to get it to us. Nielsen ratings, the radio, Marconi. Okay, this is all very big. Yes, and now Huntington is playing with me. I've got files going back years, okay, where they've been having their way with my bank account, and now coincidentally my Gmail account that my phone accounts are linked to for the receipts, yeah, it's loaded. Yeah, that free storage, you know, for your pictures and stuff, and then so much mail. Yeah, well, my mail and the photos all filled up, so now it's not letting me have the mail, but it's giving me all the updates. Yeah, the updates and the promos and those special, you know, all the newsletters, all the garbage. Yeah, I still get the junk mail, but I don't get the important stuff like my receipt from Straight Talk, which hasn't been sending it. You see, and with AI and the bank that's studying your spending habits, they're all working together. They're gardening. Yes, we're plants, and they're stimulating us and taking advantage of us, watching our fruit about to grow, anticipating it, just like a gardener walking through the garden. Oh, absolutely. I'm playing with the very big bullies. Yes, you know that movie Fight Club? It's the same thing. Yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes, it's a very big deal. So I want to ask Alexa a few things. Yes, I found it. Yes. Yeah, and once I start looking, I'm going to find out who was on that boat that died on the Titanic. Who was on that boat that died that had business interests in communications? Okay, it's all about a hostile takeover of the communications and broadcasting, and Howard Hughes ties into it because they took control of him. Without him, he's the reason why we have a lot of that ship-to-shore communication. He's the reason why women's tits look so beautiful on TV, in the movies. He's the reason. Okay, he invented that beautiful B-52 bomber bra. He's the one that did that. Howard Hughes is nobody to be sneezed at. I've studied all these people. Yes. Yes. He's the reason why we can fly so high. He designed that breathing equipment for the aircraft, the pilots. Oh, yes. Oh, we're on to some big stuff. I got Moby Dick on the line, and they know it, and I'm getting beat up at my own bank. Yes, Huntington Bank and Straight Talk somehow are in bed together. Now I've got to dive into the politics of the town, find out who's on the board of the Chamber of Commerce. Yeah, who's involved with the big shot lawyer firm that blew me off about my $94.5 million potential lawsuit with the copyright infringement over my content. My album being posted by somebody else on YouTube that I'm trying to sell. They posted it on YouTube for free with commercials. It's monetized. They're making money off of my album being there. However little traffic it may or may not have had, it's beside the point. Oh, I'm pissed. And everyone is preoccupied. Everyone's on the video game. Everyone's watching Friends. Everyone's sucked into the movie. Don't bother me now. Hold on. He's just about to feel her tit. Oh, I'm pissed. Yes. And all these corporate bullies that have gotten their attention. Yes, I've gotten their attention. They're laughing at me, trying to fight out of a paper bag that they created. Yeah, that corporate veil. Oh, man. Nobody and have no idea what is in store. You see, they've made us all corporations. Yes, let's go. Let me show you a lesson right here, right now. Now, my name is on this letter in all capital letters. Now that's symbolism. That means, in the language of the forestry that you're surviving in the city, the created city by corporate America, the forestry, the animals and what berries to eat and what trails to walk, what not to eat, what animals to look out for that might bite you. Yeah, I'm here to shepherd. Yes, this means you're a corporation. That means you can be held responsible as a corporation. See, corporate America did that with legalese, with their corporate attorneys. Corporate America did that so that they'd provide a buffer and shift the blame onto the consumer. So all the stuff we're upset about, they made it so that we're responsible. And the people have been divided. So it's no longer we the people. It's we the who's ever in my group. And right now I'm alone, independent. Reaching out to Matthew McConaughey. Hopefully he gets my SOS. This is very important. This is very serious. This could get me killed. Most certainly. Am I concerned about that? Well, small amount. Yeah, a little bit. Am I scared? No. Is it going to stop me? No. Oh my goodness. Somebody better review some of my recent content. Yeah, I just put a video on YouTube. If you're not in my fan club, there's a YouTube video I just put out. It's Captain's Offerings. Yeah, pearls. A basket of pearls. They're not all pretty and perfect, but they're pearls just the same if you're wise enough to be able to recognize them and appreciate them for what they are. Yeah. Yeah, that fat girl, she looked pretty cute when the lights were out at the bar that night, you know, and the face, because she was beautiful. Well, see, a rose bush becomes to have no thorns when you care for it. Oh, she might have been a princess inside, and you didn't even give her the consideration. No, you didn't. She might have been the most beautiful person in the world, but she was a little bit fat because all she had to survive on was pie when she was locked inside the bakery as a slave. Oh, and I'll bet you, oh man, Zack gonna be so naughty. Yeah, so anyway, let's get back to this thing. You're a corporation. Your name, you are. Okay? You have to study UCC, Universal Commercial Code. And what that means is basically your certificate it ties in with your birth certificate. This all connects to maritime law that I've been emphasizing throughout my characterization with the Mad Zack thing, Captain Mad Zack. This is not just some little fantasy thing. This is all happenstance. That's part of my evolution of what I've been becoming. I'm a pearl and nice oyster, offering things to people of quality. I was reaching out to somebody that I care about today. Her name's Debbie. I wanted to speak to her, but she was preoccupied with somebody else, and I didn't feel like I was well received. She's upset with me for some reason, and I would like to understand why. But I can't. Something is not allowing me to forget about her in the big picture for some reason. She's very important, and I wanted her to know that, you know, I came all the way out to see her specifically. Anyway, this is very serious. Let's get on with the letter, though. This is from the Fairfield County Municipal Court, and what it is there was a situation in the neighborhood, and I ended up videotaping it for a number of reasons. For one thing, to eliminate any possibilities of anybody getting accused of domestic violence, first and foremost. Second of all, was to preserve my integrity in the neighborhood where the children and people that depend on me and do look out for me and that are concerned about my wealth and my health and safety, because they know that there are people here that do not like me and are in my opposition and have made clear threats on my life numerous times in front of the children. I'm very close to the children. They share all the details with me. I know exactly who was strung out on methamphetamines because her daughter talked to me all the time. And I watch the behavior in my neighborhood as a concerned citizen. Absolutely. And I'm here to wake people up and empower them with their authority they have as an individual to get that respect. To be respectable. And the first clue in being respectable is within this paragraph here. You are hereby commanded to appear and testify before said court on behalf of the state of Ohio. Now, what that means is you're there with integrity as a statesman representing a constituent of the state of Ohio. That means you are first and foremost for the state. First. Second of all, it says for the jury trial in a certain cause pending in said court. So you're there. The first thing you understand is that you are there representing the state of Ohio. You are a representation of the state. When you go to Florida, you're an Ohioan. End story. Okay? You are plaintiff. Keep things in perspective. This is a wonderfully powerful gift I'm giving you. Okay? That alone is priceless. Oh, the adrenaline's flowing through me just thinking about it. Let's go over this again. Capital letters says your corporation. You are hereby commanded to appear and testify before the court on behalf of the state. Now, if you choose to offer or emphasize defense and go pro-defendant, you have earmarked yourself and identified yourself as an enemy of the state. Let's get this into proper perspective. Now, all those out there, my critics, the people that I'm coming after that are watching me because I have their attention, have I been articulate enough for you? I believe. It's a rhetorical question. Who do we have out there? Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks, have you been paying attention to my recent offerings to my community, my fellow man? Probably not. You come for the laughs, and that's great. Hey, you know, if toilet paper had a brain, it'd know when it's been used. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Please don't squeeze the Charmin, Mr. Whipple. Don't get confused. Yeah. So I'm under very big investigation. Let's go over this thing with the Titanic. Yeah. Radioactive 1912 is passed. U.S. regulation. I haven't read any of this yet, except for a couple of things I just saw, because I'm a bit of a speed reader, so I saw key phrases that are big, hot, flaming hot. U.S. regulation of radio telegraphy and has already been contentious in the years before the disaster for two major reasons. In the first place, antitrust law had not been applied to telecommunications in the same way that it had been to commodities. American Telephone and Telegraph Company had successfully lobbied the government and the public to be considered as a regulated natural monopoly, and was in the process of agreement with the Justice Department that would be called the Kingsbury Commitment. Similarly, the Associated Press and Western Union monopolies have been frequently called into question, but very little has been done. On the other hand, commodities, especially petroleum, were seen as a major object of antitrust law, and the year before the Titanic, the U.S. Supreme Court confirmed a Justice Department order breaking up the Standard Oil Trust in 34 separate companies. Quit fucking with my feed. Secondly, there had been very little in the way of radio regulation, and what there was had been extremely weak. Federal regulations of radio began with the Wireless Ship Act of June 24, 1910, which forbade any steamer carrying or licensed to carry 50 or more persons to leave any American port unless equipped with efficient apparatus for radio communications in charge of a skilled operator. See, Howard Hughes was a person who was very instrumental in the development of ship-to-shore communication. Okay, it's always been about communication. The payola scandal with radio and what they were putting on the radio. Yes, when they weaponized the rock and roll scene against us in the 60s. Yeah, dumped all the dope in the street and bought up the kids with the new ideas and reject the elders and the rules and all that stuff. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Nobody knows how to make wine anymore. Oh, my goodness. All the alcoholics in the world, in America, And so many people looking around going, damn, I wish I had some money for some alcohol. Oh, for Christ's sake. Captain Mad Zack, don't candy coat shit. I don't have time for babies. Get on board and understand. Please. Problems with radio played a major role in the Titanic disaster. This is a revolutionsincommunication.com features Radio and the Titanic by Bill Kovarik. Haha, don't try and screw me, you guys out there. Somebody's waiting for Mad Zack to slip up, and I do all the time. Yeah, I make mistakes because I'm doing something. Yeah, nobody makes mistakes when they don't try to do nothing. Except for, carry their bag of D's around. Yeah, so problems delayed and complicated the rescue, contributing to the deaths of 1,514 passengers and crew and very nearly sealing the fates of those who managed to survive. Although its owners boasted that the Titanic was the most modern ship of its day, the Marconi radio system that had been installed in the weeks before the disaster was already obsolete. Aha! It was not, as some have claimed, the best radio technology available. Pittsburgh, 2012. Instead, the system devised by Guglielmo Marconi in 1897 and still in use in 1912 had long since been superseded by other radio pioneers. Fessenden and DeFrost in the U.S., I have to look into them, and others in Europe. Still, Marconi and his patents, research, and monopoly power to hold back competition from other systems. And in the end, even Marconi himself admitted he was wrong. I have to look into all this. This is all fresh to me. The radio disaster of April 12th to 1912. The Titanic was on its first voyage from Britain to the United States and had just crossed the point where messages from the ship at sea could be exchanged from the easternmost North American wireless station at Cape Race, Newfoundland. After sending personal messages from the Titanic, the operators were receiving personal messages along with news and stock reports for the passengers to read the next morning. About 15 minutes before the Titanic hit the iceberg, Cyril F. Evans, a wireless operator on the Californian, which was about 20 miles away, attempted to contact the Titanic to tell them they were surrounded by dangerous icebergs. The captain said, better advise, this is a quote, Captain said, better advise the Titanic, we are surrounded by ice and stopped. Evans testified in U.S. Senate inquiry. So I went to my cabin, and at 9:05 p.m. New York time, I called him up. I said, say, old man, we are stopped and surrounded by ice. He turned around and said, shut up, I'm busy. I'm working Cape Race, Newfoundland. And at that, I jammed him. This scene was dramatized in James Cameron's Titanic film. When questioned, Evans explained, quote, by jamming, we mean when somebody is sending a message to somebody else and you start to send at the same time, you jam them, you see. People have absolutely no idea about AI. They've been using it for a long time. All these people have a big war. This is huge. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Anyway, I don't need to read the rest of the report. I gave you a clue where it's at. Anybody with half a brain and an inquiring mind should easily see the thrill of the tangibility of the reality of this and the magnitude. And keep in mind, today's technology, they're already, everything I'm doing and talking about, they already know about. You see, FCC regulations, Part 15, and the MRC, the Media Ratings Council, is unregulated. Yes. And, oh my goodness, if you haven't been paying attention to my work, you're a journalist or something like that, I'm the guy. Okay, they made a big speech about me in school when I graduated night school. Yeah, I got my diploma. They made a big speech. And they said, if you are ever a journalist or something similar or something somehow in media communications literature, and you need someone with an abstract opinion, I'm the person to find. And I am here waiting to be found. And I've proven I have a wealth of things to offer. If not, simply just amusing character, variety of characters. I love the sport. Yes, I do. I love acting and performing. Anyway, yeah. So it's 8:28, and I'm feeling great. Yeah. Let's check in. Oh, let's talk to Alexa. Alexa, good evening. Alexa, good evening.
Good evening, and happy birthday to actor and writer Fred Armisen, who was born on this day in 1966. And if you decide to get this Portlandia star a gift, here's my recommendation. Put a bird on it.
Yeah. Hey, tell me about payola. Alexa, what was the payola radio scandal?
I don't know that one.
Alexa, what is payola?
Paula is a city in and the county seat of Miami
Alexa!
County.
Stop! You know damn well what I ask you. Quit pussyfooting around a damn thing. Payola. P-A-Y-O-L-A. Define it. Alexa, define payola.
The name Paula means small. Did that answer your question?
We're in a lot of trouble. And everybody's stoned. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody ever run a business? You don't have enough time to do your homework. You don't know why they're wrestling over your handling your electric service. You won't look into it because the game's on. No, you don't have time. And then the video game, and then the scratch off tickets, hoping you get rich, you know. And then of course you got to have some beer money, so you got to sell a little weed, come up with some cash, so you can have a little weed and some beer money. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have time to know why they're fighting over controlling, who gets to handle your money between you and where the power comes from. You don't have time to look into that because you got $20 for, Walmart and you desperately need it. And $20, it's a big deal. But then 2 weeks later, you get a letter in the mail for another 100 if you switch over to the other company. And you think, ooh, yeah, $100, I need $100. Of course, there's fine print. You get the $100 after you've been on there for 6 months or something. But still, it's the shiny thing, And and it's funny how an old broken bottle looked just like a diamond ring. Yeah, because of desperation. You would have never considered a diamond ring to be laying on the ground if you weren't desperate and hoping to find it and it would solve all your problems for a few days. I'm offering you something very special. I don't even know how special or what it is or why I'm doing it, but it's like a butterfly flying back and forth, a monarch. Doesn't even know. It died 6 times getting to where it had to go. The one that got there to lay another egg at the final destination doesn't have a clue 5 guys died, or does it? See, life after death, maybe. Ooh. I'm starting my own church. Yes, I am. Yeah, it's going to be called the Church of Someone Unlimited. Yeah, who wouldn't want to be part of that? Think about the ego boost of it. Psychological. Like the ace bandage, when a kid got wounded and you put an ace bandage on his wrist and it boosted him up a little bit. Just seeing that, yeah, ace, the ego. You're stroking the ego, and then the Lucky Rabbit's foot booster too, That's corporate America. They're dancing those things and they've eliminated the teachings Dad gave you. How to bend a wrench and stuff. Average guys my own age, 52, can't turn a wrench and work on their own car. They're talking about taking their motorcycle to the shop and having them work on it. Why would you easily volunteer to let someone else do your manly stuff? That's the fun stuff. Wrenching on stuff. You don't work extra job to pay somebody else to do it. There's no pride like working on your own stuff. I'm giving you pearls. Pearls. Please pick them up. Please contact me if you know I'm trying to talk to you. Don't be afraid to talk to me. I support a lot of people. Occasionally I've given people money when I could afford it, but I support a lot of people, help them get their kids back. I got them through courts. I got them through hard times. I help them with their sobriety, drinking. I'm sober. I'm demonstrating, representing, trying to navigate other guys. I was lost. I'm still lost. I'm still looking for my superior man in my life, my mentor, my father, my teacher, my Copernicus, my Plato, my Socrates. Where are they for us, Larry? Okay? We got Matthew McConaughey, but he's limited in what he can share with us because of the broadcasters. Yeah, he hasn't paid in to be in that club. Yeah, they pay him to be the singing monkey in the movies. Yeah, be the singing monkey in the movies and play a part in programming the general public with the psychological, developing, teaching things, the neurostimulation within the content of the story and the lines and the ego massaging and all that. Why do you think men and women can't get along anymore at all? I'm here to rebuild you. I can rebuild anything. Yes, it's just Facebook. But from what I've seen, as far as working on the internet, Facebook needs me the most. And there's no place to start like where you're standing. Twitter's a joke, pretty much. It's all a joke, and I can't wait for the momentum of things so that I can get away from it, throw my phone away and all that. Yeah, so let's go back to carrier pigeons. Yeah, make life fun. Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go and spend time with my lady. She's gonna be gone all week, so yeah, a little info there, a little intel I secreted out there from my haters. Yes, my Zack's gonna be a sitting duck. Yeah, sitting in his nest. Oh, it's so easy to shoot animals when they're sitting on the water, not flying in the skies. Oh, yeah. Peace, love, you know who dares to be original. I'll take on the whole damn world all by myself if I have to. Where's the men? I'm searching very hard for them. There's one right here. You're not alone.